Picture this. It is late at night, and you have 37 tabs open, 2 AI chatbots, a notes app, and 3 half-written emails. You are just trying to plan a trip or research a big purchase, but your browser looks like a filing cabinet exploded, and your brain is the unpaid intern cleaning it up. Now imagine this instead. One clean window, one box at the top, and a browser that quietly understands what you are trying to do, then does half the work for you. That is the promise of Norton Neo, and if it works, it could make Chrome feel like a dinosaur. Browsers have not really changed in 20 years. We still live inside the same address bar plus endless tabs layout that was built for static web pages, not for research, content creation, and AI workflows. Norton Neo takes a different shot at the problem. It is not just Chrome with an extension. It is built from the ground up as an AI native browser. And here is the part that should make Google nervous. Neo is trying to turn your browser from a passive window into an intelligent command center for the entire internet. Think about how you actually use the web today. You read long articles, skim product pages, ask questions like best noise-canceling headphones under $300, and bounce between tools like Gmail, Jira, Notion, and AI chatbots. To your current browser, all of that looks the same, just another tab. That is why you feel constant context switching and mental fatigue. The insight behind Norton Neo is simple but brutal. The problem is not you. The problem is that the browser has no idea what you are trying to get done. Most so-called AI browsers just bolt a chatbot onto this old skeleton. You highlight text, click an extension, send it off to a model, and wait. It is helpful, but it is still duct tape. One AI tool summarizes, another writes emails, a third lives in a separate app entirely. None of them actually understand your intent across tabs, time, and tasks. In a minute, I will show you how Neo flips that. But first, we need to talk about the feature that changes everything, the magic box. Browsers trained us to think in silos. Address bar for URLs, search box for queries, separate panel for AI chat. Norton Neo rips that muscle memory out and replaces it with one unified surface, the magic box. Type apple.com, it navigates. Type best case for iPhone 17 Pro, it does a full search. Ask what is the difference between OLED and QLED, and it just answers with a structured comparison instead of a page of blue links. You never choose a mode. Neo reads your intent and routes it for you. That sounds small, but it quietly changes how you think. In Chrome, researching something means opening a new tab, typing a query, scanning results, opening more tabs, and maybe copying text into a separate AI tool. In Neo, you stay in one loop. Ask the magic box, skim the AI answer, and only then decide if any classic search result is worth a deeper click. The browser starts feeling less like a window and more like an intelligent command line for the web. And here is where it gets interesting. Once the browser understands intent, it can also start organizing your chaos. Let us talk about your tab graveyard. Most of us hoard tabs like digital junk drawers. 20, 40, even 100 open at once, each one a tiny tax on your attention. You pin some, you install tab suspender extensions, you promise yourself you will clean them up later. You rarely do. Norton Neo attacks this at the root by killing classic tabs and replacing them with sessions. Vertical, contextual workspaces that act more like projects than pages. This is not just prettier tab groups. It is AI watching what you do and quietly sorting your life. Open Gmail, Jira, and your company wiki, and Neo automatically clusters them into a work session. Start bouncing between Notion templates, calendar tools, and Todoist, and it nudges those into productivity. Search AI audio enhancer, peek at a few review sites, then open deep dive articles and YouTube breakdowns, and Neo builds a research session that remembers where you left off, even after you close the browser. Suddenly, you are not thinking in tabs at all. You are thinking in tasks, and this changes who actually feels productive enough to adopt AI at work. Now, here is where Norton Neo really breaks your browsing habits. Hover over a link, and the page quietly unfolds in front of you. A feature called Peek turns every search result into a live preview. No click, no new tab, no context switch. In that floating window, Neo runs its integrated AI to summarize the page into a few tight paragraphs. Instead of skimming 10 open tabs, you can scan 10 summaries in under a minute and only fully open the 2 or 3 that actually matter. It feels less like surfing the web and more like window shopping it. Imagine comparison shopping for an iPhone 17 Pro case. You hover across 5 listings, and Neo highlights durability notes, return policies, and shipping costs side by side before you ever click through. Or you are hunting recipes. Type one pot vegetarian pasta, then peek at each blog to check ingredients, prep time, and difficulty without scrolling through someone's life story and 3 pages of ads. Academic work gets the same upgrade. Search AI for Indian entrepreneurs, and you can build a reading list from summaries of journal articles and blog posts in 10 minutes instead of an afternoon. In a moment, we will push this even further and turn every page into a live conversation. Browsers used to pretend they were neutral glass, just showing you pages. Norton Neo drops the act. Its Neo Chat sidebar lets you interrogate any article or video like it is a research assistant sitting next to you. Open NeoChat on a long guide and ask, summarize this in 250 words, and it chews through thousands of words in seconds. Ask, what are the main risks, or which steps apply to solo founders, and it answers based on that exact page, not some generic advice. The context stays live as you scroll. Video is where this starts to feel almost unfair. Load a YouTube tutorial, and NeoChat can read the transcript and timeline behind the scenes. Type, what is the AI tool used in this video to build the mobile app, and it pulls the answer straight out without you scrubbing through 12 minutes of content. Watching a self-hosting guide. Ask, what do I need to self-host Supabase? And it extracts a checklist of requirements and tools. And here is the twist. NeoChat is not limited to one tab. It can compare across multiple pages in one shot. Open Make.com in one session and Zapier in another, then ask NeoChat. Compare at Make versus at Zapier for a small agency automating client onboarding. The browser crawls both live pages and returns structured differences, integrations, pricing tiers, workflow limits, pros and cons. Follow up with which is cheaper for 10,000 tasks per month, or which has better error handling for webhooks, and it keeps anchoring answers to the actual sites. This is not a chatbot guessing. It is your browser acting like a real research partner. And Neo does not stop at reading. It also writes everywhere. Most browsers treat text fields as dumb boxes. Norton Neo wires every text area on the web into an always-on magic wand. In Gmail, LinkedIn, Notion, Shopify, anywhere you can type, a subtle wand icon appears. Tap it, and Neo reads what you have written, understands the page around it, and offers targeted actions: draft, rephrase, change tone, or fix grammar. It does the rewrite directly in that same field, no copy and paste to a separate AI site. Over time, it even remembers your preferences, like short, punchy, American English, and keeps that style until you reset. Picture opening a founder's contact form and typing a simple prompt. Write a concise, professional cold email about partnering on an AI security webinar. Hit magic wand and Neo drops in a full email. Subject line, tight intro, 1 paragraph value pitch, a few bullet points, and a clear call to action with time windows. You skim, tweak a line, and send. No templates, no hunting old docs, no separate chatbot tab. Multiply that by LinkedIn posts, YouTube descriptions, Etsy product blurbs, and internal Jira comments, and your browser stops being just a consumption tool. It becomes a full-stack content creation studio. There is also a bigger strategic play here. Norton is a security company first, and that gives Neo a privacy angle that Chrome struggles to match. Instead of sending everything to the cloud, Neo leans on device profiling to learn what you care about, then powers things like a News for You feed that looks more like a briefing than clickbait. For anyone worried about AI in the browser turning into a surveillance machine, that matters. This is where the Chrome era starts to feel shaky. If the browser itself can understand tasks, manage sessions, and protect your data, the old tab and tracking model looks very outdated. So is this the end of Chrome? Not overnight. Chrome is still deeply baked into our habits, our extensions, and our workplaces. But Norton Neo is a glimpse of what comes next. A browser that understands intent, kills tab clutter with AI-driven sessions, lets you peek and summarize without clicking, turns every page and video into a live conversation, and follows you into every text box as a writing assistant. The web starts to feel less like a pile of pages and more like an operating system you can talk to. The real question is not, can they build this? They already have. The question is, how fast will the rest of us switch? If you are tired of tab chaos, juggling separate AI tools, and feeling like your browser is fighting you, Norton Neo is worth watching very closely. It is still early, but the direction is clear. Browsers are becoming AI native, not AI adjacent. I want to know what you think. Would you trust your daily work, your research, and your writing to an AI-powered browser like this? Or are you sticking with Chrome for now? Drop your take in the comments and tell me which Neo feature you would actually use tomorrow. If you want more deep dives into tools that quietly change how you work, hit subscribe and stay tuned. The way we browse the web is about to change faster than anyone expects.